Christmas time once more. It has been quite the year to say the least. Overall, it's been a great one for me, primarily due to the success of the channel. Sure, it may have blown up with the AI president trend and now I have growing dead weight, but I don't give a shit. I cashed in and screwed off. If you're still here, you guys are some tough soldiers. But let's relax a bit. It's Christmas, my favorite holiday. Just sitting back with some hot cocoa and watching Christmas specials. Typically, they either come from sitcoms I enjoy or something like Scott the Woz's specials. But let's be a little spicy this year. Stray away from the comfort zone. Now, I put a bunch of sitcoms I haven't either watched or hated to watch on this wheel. And let's see where it hits. Friends. A show I haven't really talked about all that much, considering it was, and still is, an extremely popular television series. And I talk about sitcoms. I guess now's as good a time as any. Friends, a group of people you don't have. Why else are you here? No, but the television show, Friends, which began airing on NBC in 1994 and was an immediate success, appealing to a more of the young adult crowd than a show like Frasier or Seinfeld ever could. It's about a group of friends living in probably ass-expensive apartments in New York City. The show itself would have a massive impact on society, primarily with the trend of the Rachel, a hairstyle that was worn by Jennifer Aniston's character Rachel. This trend would last through the late 1990s up until the early 2000s, basically the runtime of the series. And attempts to repopularize the style once more have been attempted, but not successfully. The show's impact extended to its younger audience. To many, it felt like a representation of what it was like to be on your own at such a young age, feeling alone and helpless. But by keeping your friends close and maintaining relationships, you may end up just okay. A quote from Elaine Rapping, a professor of American Studies at the University of Buffalo, said in April 2004, a month before the show went off the air, that, quote, "The premise of these shows, often centered on trivial matters in the characters' lives, sending the message that it's okay to not be serious about anything because nothing really bad is likely to happen in a young person's life." The premise for a show like this wasn't uncommon. At a surface level, it's about a group of friends who live together or nearby. Don't get this confused with the idea of strangers or family living together as seen in shows like The Odd Couple, Three's Company, or Two and a Half Men. The only show to be similar in vein to Friends that aired before it was Seinfeld. It's actually a bit strange how similar the concept is. Seinfeld's about a comedian who lives in New York City with his group of strange friends. It usually takes place within Jerry's apartment. It's been defined a time or two as a show about nothing. Friends is about a group of friends who live in New York City, and it usually takes place in Monica's apartment as they get into wacky shenanigans. Not going to say it's a complete ripoff, but let's say some of the ideas are quite similar. Not accusing anyone of anything, it's just a theory. I haven't seen Friends in quite a while. My sister used to love watching it when she got home from school, and that was made possible through the series addition to Netflix in the 2010s, which helped spread the series to more and more people. From what I remember of the show, it basically goes: Ross dates a woman, realizes he has feelings for Rachel, dumps him, gets with her, Rachel gets wound up over something either stupid or the unluckiest shit happens, dumps Ross, he goes fucks another bitch, the cycle repeats for a bit until they marry and have a kid. Okay, maybe not the best description, but the best one I can spit out. The series would last an impressive 10 seasons, ending altogether in 2004. In particular, May 6th. Are you fucking kidding me? My birthday? Besides that, it aired a week before its distant sibling Frasier was ending its 11-year run. That being on May 13th, 2004. NBC took a huge hit with losing two mega shows for their primetime lineup, but in the meantime, they seem to be doing fine regardless of these two shows ending. Also, because the next year, some genius decided it was best to make a Friends spinoff with the character Joey Tribbiani. That show will be getting its own dedicated video one of these days. Interesting fact too, because you know I love my connections to other sitcoms, particularly with sitcoms I've talked about on this channel. The people who created Friends, David Crane and Marta Kauffman, had another sitcom on NBC that ran for 2 seasons, beginning in March of 1992, with veteran TV extraordinaire Norman Lear sitting as executive producer. That show was called The Powers That Be, a series about politics. Okay, but in a more comedic way. Think about That's My Bush, but more primetime friendly. It's about a US Senator, William Powers, which, you know, fits into the title. And the title itself is an idiom for people who decide what is allowed or accepted. It's pretty clever. And just watching bits of the first episode, hey, well, I'll be a son of a bitch. That's Holland Taylor, who would eventually go on to play Charlie and Alan Harper's mother, Evelyn, on Two and a Half Men. That's cool.
This evening.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't wear pink.
Hey, wait. Who's this fucking guy? Oh my god. That's fucking David Hyde Pierce, who would go on to play one of the most influential television characters of all time. Also, in this show, he's for some reason really fucking suicidal, like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, what a weird connection. So, that all sounds pretty exciting, right? Well, before I give a Christmas episode a watch, maybe I should watch a few episodes from maybe like the first season, just to, give myself a refresher. What the fuck did I just watch? I mean, it was honestly okay. Not the best thing I ever watched, but not the worst. From the first few seasons, it's just okay. Some parts are heavy hitters and some are just boring. Really, I mean, I enjoy most of the characters. My personal favorites are probably Chandler and Joey. Both play off each other so well, with Chandler having a Charlie Harper-like wit to him. Funny enough, he was supposed to be played by John Cryer, who would eventually play Alan Harper on 2.5 Men. The reason he didn't get it was because while filming for in the United Kingdom, his audition tape was lost at US Customs, and they had to move on to try and cast someone else. And they gave it to the right guy, assuredly. The only ones I occasionally have problems with is Ross and Rachel. More Ross than anything. He's just... David Schwimmer as an actor, he's shown to be quite an entertaining performer. But in Friends, he's just Ross. A pathetic loser who has shit thrown at him and he takes it. When I look at Ross, I feel fucking pity. One thing the show does deserve credit for is its display on interpersonal relationships and romantic relationships. Even though I think some of it's cringe, especially with
"Will Ross and Rachel be together" gimmick.
I fucking hate it. It's stupid, because right from the start of the series, towards the end of the first episode, Ross confesses that back in high school, he used to have a crush on her. Rachel says she knew. Awkwardness sets in, Ross goes in for the kill, and says, would it be okay if he asked her out on a date at some point in the future since, the two had just suffered unique breakups? Ross's was his then girlfriend Carol saying she's a lesbian, already has a girlfriend, and for Rachel it was leaving someone at the altar because she didn't want to marry this guy. Frasier did this much better in my opinion. Not perfect, but better. While Frasier ran through girls like an STD, it makes sense for his character. Similar can be said about Jerry Seinfeld. These two have a total of... fuck. I lost count. Doesn't matter. With someone like George Costanza or Niles Crane, their relationships are much more limited. They haven't been with many people. They tend to stay in their relationships for a while. Sometimes not though. I'll remember you, Kit. But when you look at Niles, for example, he had always had a huge fascination with Daphne and for years tried to ask her out. By the time she knew, Niles was about to get married for the second time, as well as her. So Daphne confronts Niles, they kiss, and both tell their engaged partners to get lost. That took 8 seasons. 8 fucking years to get to that point. Ross, who I'd argue is similar in nature to someone like Niles Crane, ballsily asked out his high school crush after the two were going through breakups in the first episode. The argument you can make is they didn't want to be copycats, and understandable enough. But I doubt in that first season they knew what the writers of Frasier were planning for the next 6 seasons. Because at that point, Frasier was already in its 2nd season. But who knows really? At the end of the day, I just kind of find that dynamic annoying. It just doesn't work here. Maybe there's something I'm missing because a lot of people love this show. So let me just see what other people think. Oh, okay, that's just a random list somewhere. Who cares? Oh, that's pretty high. Is that what people actually think? Oh, come on, it can't be. Oh God, what has happened to this world? Like, why? God, what the hell's wrong with me? I'm never this harsh of a sitcom, especially the ones that are universally loved. Why don't I like it? Minus the stupid shit. Dear God, I finally experienced it. I'm burnt out. No. It's Christmas. I can't be. Okay. Gotta make a call. Hey, is Charlie still around?
Strike you fake, and every flag you
president has shredded the peace tree that George supposedly lost and thrown it in Larry's lawn. After that, George W. Bush is just magically reinstated as president, and we end on a good note.
Who would charge that? Logan, are you fucking serious? Who the fuck is that?
What are you doing here? You work with me back until tomorrow.
Logan, oh my god, no! I want to fucking surprise you!
I want you to know that while you're explaining all this, Dark Viper is like fighting one of my Twitter followers on Twitter right now instead of being on this call talking to you. This 731 follower clout machine, confusing opinion, is like fucking throwing bombs back and forth with Dark Viper on Twitter. It's actually insane.
Whoa, calm down, Barashi. Oh, look, you broke it. I can tell, Donald.
Airing in January of 2000, it seemed to indicate to many that VH1 was running dry on what shows they could pump out, because instead of little fact bubbles popping up, instead, you'd be asked questions and you would have to guess the right answer before the show just does it for you. And as our host, it's this horrifying abomination, I don't even know what to call it. It's a robot head, but a floating robot head with the Powerpuff Girls background. Okay.
Yes, it was tech issues, motherfucker! And also, by the way, not only did this guy take $150 from me, confusing opinion.
We're getting here, you know what I'm about to do? Alright, new folder.
The shoe on head folder?
Shoe on head goon folder.
Total ball control dummy. Hell yeah. Close win.
Fuck! All I know is that Zip lost, so I'm happy.
You should not be managing your own finances. You should be under like a conservatorship, whatever the fuck it's called.
Charlie?
Oh, Jesus Christ, what do you want?
Don't you remember me? The confusing opinion? You helped me see the true meaning of Christmas?
Oh, sweet hell, kid. I haven't worked in that field since that happened. Eventually, the city of Cleveland kicked me out for being Charlie Sheen.
What did you do?
Nothing. It's because I'm Charlie Sheen, and I was put on unpaid leave from Ghosts of Christmas Past. It's being ran by someone new now. Kelsey Grammer's busy with the Frasier reboot, so he put David Hyde Pierce in charge, and he won't let me back in now.
Damn, Charlie, I'm sorry, that really fucking sucks.
Thanks, kid. Well, you somehow creepily found where I was. What can I do for you?
Well, I need your help to learn the true meaning of Christmas again.
The true meaning of Christmas doesn't change. It's the same as it was last year.
Okay, then I need help understanding something.
Buddy, I'm not a therapist, unless you pay me a good wage.
I need help understanding why people like a show like Friends.
Friends? God, you know I was on there once. I played Phoebe's ex-boyfriend who was in the Navy, and we both had chickenpox. It was a weird episode.
Okay.
What do you need help understanding? It's just a popular show people like. So what? Who cares?
Who cares? Shockingly, I fucking do. This is like the only time, like the one time, like the fucking exception. I have to put my foot down. Every single article, every single person online with a brain and an internet connection goes on to talk about how Friends is the greatest show to ever fucking exist, and that nothing else out there can top it. It'd be fine if it was a minority, because who cares? But it's becoming a majority, who are stuck up their own ass and won't view the other great sitcoms that exist.
All right, holy fucking shit. If you promise not to give out some long, drawn-out speech about worthless ideas, I'll help.
Okay, that works. Charlie, I think someone's calling out for you.
What? I don't hear anything.
Look behind you.
No.
Hey, Charlie, guess what?
Hi, what, Andy?
I pulled down my pants and showed my ass to this young couple looking for people to install their dishwasher.
For fuck's sake, Andy! I told you not to moon the customers. This is why we're the last two people to be picked up as contractors from this shithole of a hardware store.
God, Charlie, it was funny. You should have been there, the lady screamed, and the guy slapped my ass.
Okay.
Oh, introduce me to your friend.
Oh, for fuck. This is confusing.
What's his name?
Confusing.
His name is Confusing?
Yes.
Oh, so like it's hard to pronounce or something.
No. Oh, God, I'm gonna fucking... His name is The Confusing Opinion, but it's shortened to Confusing.
That's really dumb.
Hi. Nice to meet you. You know, some guy who cucked me out of an SML video did a video on you too.
Nice to meet you.
Andy, don't grab his dick.
Charles, you take the fun out of everything.
I'm sorry for this. Do you think he could come with us wherever we're going?
Oh, fuck. Really?
I know, but another reason I got kicked out was because Andy pulled down my pants in front of a diner, and of course they charged me.
Then why do you still hang out with him?
Because I needed a little sidekick, you wouldn't get it.
But it's Andy Dick.
I know, he's a scumbag, he's a shitty person, but it was either him or Bill Cosby. It's a lose-lose, but I figured Andy wouldn't try and drug me, hopefully.
Okay, fine. Get in the car then. Let's go for a ride. So Friends has a total of 8 Christmas specials. The first season didn't have one, but every season after that did. So basically, my idea is we watch a Friends Christmas special, maybe have different eyes watching it will provide me some more insight I'm clearly missing.
Can we watch the Thanksgiving one with the turkey on Rachel's head?
Shut the fuck up, Andy.
Okay.
Are we getting paid for this?
You're getting paid in warmth inside a car.
Ooh, that's a pretty good deal, Charlie. We were freezing our asses off.
That's because you did unspeakable acts to our jackets. And to freezing our asses, maybe wear pants a time or two and you'll survive.
Alright, you two, stop it. I'm turning this fucking car around.
I've always wanted to say that. So let's start with the first Christmas special. Season 2, Episode 9's The One with Phoebe's Dad. And I just realized that every episode starts out with The One, similar to Seinfeld's The, or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia's The Gang. Let's get into it. The episode starts off in Monica's apartment as per usual. At this point in the series, Rachel and Ross are broken up for the first time because in the episode previous, Ross comes to Central Perk and kisses the fuck out of Rachel. But then she finds a list of pros and cons to dating either her or to stay with his current girlfriend, Julie, who he brought back from China after leaving for some paleontology bullshit. Again, I'm not here to give a huge plot synopsis, but you know. Monica and Rachel, in lieu of real presents or even money, decide to bake cookies and give it to people such as their super and their newspaper delivery man, who responds by doing this.
Oh my god.
What?
I don't think you're gonna like this.
Oh, there's a cookie smashed in the sports section.
We go to Central Perk, and Ross, returning from Macy's, tries to not bribe necessarily for Rachel's love, but maybe use his goofy charm to his advantage. It really doesn't work. The dude bought her a fucking Slinky. Ross then proceeds to sit down and show everyone the presents he bought. One significant one being this picture frame for his parents. Phoebe eventually walks in and notices the picture in the picture frame, saying it's her real father, but it's just a stock photo. She pulls out a picture from her wallet saying it's her dad, but it's just another stock photo. She runs out to beat the shit out of her grandmother for lying to her. Okay, that may not be true.
You know, I was in a similar predicament before, except it wasn't with a picture frame or a stock photo. Probably not even grandma's either.
Okay, I'm lost. Where are you going with this?
Oh, I remember. Charlie, you were there? Remember when I streaked along I-71 in Dublin? That was fun.
Oh, yeah. It made it even more fun when I had to sit there in a police interrogating room for like 6 hours because you fucking went missing.
Oh, I got a little lost. Who cares?
Oh, who fucking cares?
Guys, shut the fuck up. Jesus. Phoebe, instead of brutally killing her grandmother for lying to her about her dad, she instead does the normal thing and asks her to see some pictures of her dad, in which her grandma pulls out more stock photos, eventually leading her to spill the beans that her mom put her up to this since Phoebe's dad abandoned her, and in retaliation, she hid who their real father was because it hurt her so much. Wow. But Grandma saves the day as she kept a real picture hidden behind one of the fake ones, and we can kind of see it. Sort of looks like a hippie. We're back now at Monica's apartment. Monica and Ross bitch at Chandler and Joey for not having presents yet. Ross attempts to use his Ohio Rizzler ability to his advantage by suggesting to Rachel that maybe she make a list. That's it. After pushing her, she begins to absolutely roast this weenie for being an insecure, obsessive, whiny loser. Phoebe begins a manhunt for her long-lost father, spending God knows how long looking through that many fucking yellow pages, where her grandmother reveals another hidden secret, that being his exact fucking location. There's just a lot I'm confused on here that I can't even formulate the words to put towards the script. She's even kind enough to lend Phoebe her piece of shit NYC cab. So Chandler and Joey decide to tag along since it'd be the perfect opportunity to get some gifts, respectable enough. As the three amigos, or the Three Stooges, prepare for their Christmas party, Ross attempts to find out from his sister if he's obsessive. Monica asks Ross to turn off the radiator because it's simply too fucking hot. Now I can't tell how hot it actually was, but if I touch my phone, ow! Yeah, it's hot. We move on and scouting the target, arriving at what's believed to be Phoebe's dad's house. But she soon realizes that she is afraid to walk to the door, for obvious reasons. We return back to see how lovely the Three Stooges party is going. I touch my phone again and I suffered third-degree burns. It's hot as hell in there, but they all try to make the best of things. And are her nipples pointing out of her tank top? Well, I'll be damned. Anyway, I wonder how any of these people stuck around. These people must just have no life.
You're one to talk.
Quiet. Eventually, Ross decides to prove to Rachel that he has some serious balls and confronts the super on getting a replacement knob faster by bribing him. Since Monica and Rachel weren't, I mean, they already gave him shitty cookies. And the super tries to explain that the place he gets replacement parts from doesn't open until Tuesday.
Nice seizing, gel boy.
Ross's balls just disintegrated. We go back to Phoebe's attempts to reach her father's doorstep, with her so far only making it to the mailbox. She's clearly nervous about seeing her dad. Chandler and Joey try their best to boost up her spirits and confidence. However, she eventually decides she isn't ready. Chandler and Joey are very supportive, even though they wanted to go last-minute Christmas shopping. Technically, they still did, at a gas station. It's the thought that counts, really. Rachel got wiper blades and a new car spray, even though she doesn't have a car. Phoebe got toilet seat covers, Ross got 2 drinks, 1 normal, 1 lemon lime, and finally, Monica received condoms. Overall, I kind of like this episode. A mix of a very sweet and humorous situations. However, I kind of liked it. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Not bad, not great, but just okay. Okay, I think I need a palate cleanser.
Oh my god, if you put on
Frasier, yes, but I'm going to compare it to the Friends Christmas special. Eh? See where I'm going with this?
You are a troubled little man.
Yes, I know the reboot is out and that will get its own dedicated video, but in tradition, until we run out of Frasier Christmas episodes, let's watch Season 11, Episode 11's High Holidays. This Christmas episode comes from what many fans consider to be quite a shitty season. It's in that period of the last 2 years of Frasier, where there was a noticeable decline in quality, but also viewership. I plan on covering these seasons in a future video, but for now, let's try to enjoy a Season 11 episode of Frasier. We begin at Cafe Nervosa, not Central Perk, keep that in mind. Frasier tells Martin that he's expecting someone who plans on making a promo for the city of Seattle, and she wants Frasier. Yeah, okay, it's just a little odd, but you know, okie doke. Eventually, she sees Martin's dog Eddie, and she is enamored by him, saying that she wants him in the promo.
Oh, it's called a spot, Dad.
Okay, geez, I'm sorry, a spot. After shooting for the spot, he returns back to his apartment, and is excited that his son Frederick is visiting this Christmas. But boy, did he not see what was coming next.
Hey, Dad.
This is Goth Freddy, a version of Freddy who's goth and really likes saying shit is so goth. May I remind you, this was the early 2000s. In particular, this episode aired on December 9th, 2003. This is, at least from my extreme limited knowledge on goth culture, an attempt at being a mall goth, which Wikipedia says was a trend that gained popularity in the late 1990s into the early to mid 2000s, where people would dress goth for fashion, not the culture. Why they're called mall goths is the fact of many of these individuals would hang out at the mall and shop for items at Hot Topic. Think about the South Park episode where a lot of kids in South Park jump on this exact trend, which leads to a Hot Topic being burned down. Anyways, Freddy acts like a moody bitch and storms off, while also mentioning this.
It's just what I'm into now, okay? Me, my friend Andy, a bunch of us.
Oh, so that's why he's goth. You know, it's not uncommon the embarrassingly stupid stuff we do because we like someone. Daphne explains that everyone goes through a bit of a rebellious phase, saying she used to be able to carry a turkey between her knees? Cool? Should have tried out for America's Got Talent, damn. Daphne then asks Niles what he did when he rebelled. Niles sheepishly responds with, oh, the usual ways, before Martin absolutely body slams him and exposes that Niles never did anything bad, really. Something Martin was disappointed in. Freddy comes out, jump scares everyone, and when Frasier asks if he wants to go watch a movie, he basically tells him to beat it and says he's going to the cinema with the friend he mentioned earlier, Andy. And boy, is that one terrifying looking human being. Hey Charlie, what was your rebellious phase like?
Oh, well, technically I had 2, one when I was a teenager and the other as an adult.
Oh. Okie dokie. Nope. Don't even want to ask. We return to Cafe Nervosa, where Niles lays out his devilish idea to rebel in front of his dad by smoking some pot and letting the results fly. Except you think this guy would smoke a blunt? No. Roz helped him out with getting a weed brownie because her neighbor makes them. And since it's 2003, marijuana is still illegal in most states. But in the same year, Seattle residents voted to make enforcing weed laws the lowest priority, so to speak. So Niles, if he was caught, probably would have been fine. Maybe. As Niles' car alarm goes off, he leaves the brownie behind. Roz tries to give it to Fraser to give back to his brother. He says he has to run, so playing hot potato passes it back to Roz. Sees Martin walking in, tells him to give this to Niles. Martin, getting curious, unwraps it and sees it's a brownie, but tries to hold himself back due to him restricting his diet. But fuck that shit, he chowed that sucker down. Of course, unaware it was a weed brownie. Realizing he ate the brownie, he quickly goes to the counter and requests a brownie. He wraps it up and gives it to Niles, both unaware what just fucking happened. Back at Fraser's apartment, after an outing at the mall, Frederick returns with his ghoul friend, as Niles would put it, and hands Fraser a package from the doorman, realizing it's his Seattle promo tape. So as the proud man he was, he chucks it into the VHS player, I guess DVDs were still in their infancy, and watches the tape and soon realizes that he's nowhere in this. But he's voicing a CGI version of Martin's dog, Eddie. Freddy, after really enjoying it by saying it's so fucking goth, he ditches Fraser, saying he's gonna stay the night at Andy's uncle's house. After the concert, Fraser, rightfully concerned and pissed, gets on Freddy for this, and he reacts the way you'd expect a motherfucker who looks like this.
Do you know how much you're embarrassing me? What's your problem?
My problem is that you've hardly spent 1 minute here since you arrived.
Niles drops on by with a bit of a pep in his step. Even though he isn't remotely high. It's all in his head. But he proceeds to say he's high as a kite. Martin eventually makes his entrance, laughing his ass off for no reason. Boy, I wonder if he's high. He then goes on a nonsensical rant about shit not being straight and how he has to make 20 quadrillion turns or something. And oh yeah, Fraser has a date. Not surprising. This one, however, is with that one girl who did his promo. Martin heads to his chair to let the good times roll when he turns on the TV and watches Fraser's promo with Eddie, which makes him paranoid as fuck, made worse by the fact you can hear Fraser berate Eddie while in the bathroom. We see Niles in the kitchen preparing a Chilean sea bass because that was going to be his meal for when he got the munchies. I shit you not. Martin, having them, mixes vanilla ice cream and Lucky Charms. Sounds delicious, actually. Martin then heads out into the living room with no pants. Fraser asks where they are, and he says they're in the fridge. That's so fucking dumb. Fraser then asks if he ate the brownie Roz got for Niles. He says he did, and he realizes he's higher than fucking Mount Everest. Niles begins to feel bad. Fraser tells him to stop acting cool when he begins using terms such as Mary Jane. Fraser says he had a shitty date. The girl said she had an emergency, he believes it. Then he takes a walk where he sees her in another bar where, well, I'll let Fraser say it.
Not unless he had an infected earlobe which required an immediate tongue flicking.
Niles changes the subject back to his guilt for getting his dad stoned. Fraser says he did the base thing and it would be considered rebellious, and Niles thinks it's good enough. Freddy surprisingly returns home and seems moody, nothing out of the ordinary, but that darn Dr. Crane asks him what happened at the concert, and basically his friend Andy ran into another friend, and ignored Frederick for the duration of the concert. Fraser, being the good dad he is and psychiatrist, tells Freddy that things like this happen and they suck. Freddy asks if it ever happened to Fraser, and I mean, what kind of question is that? Are you fucking stupid, son? And that's High Holidays. I give it a good 7 out of 10. Probably one of my favorite episodes from a very mediocre final season. But I did notice I laughed more at this episode than I did with the Friends one.
So far what I'm seeing that you have the biggest hate boner for Friends but love Frasier. Do you just not have any friends?
No. I think Friends is a fine show, but I guess it's stupid to see people who parade this one show as the be-all and end-all of television, especially sitcoms. Like, why? It's not a deep show, it's just fucking Seinfeld 2.0.
Remember what I said about long, drawn-out, stupid speeches?
Sorry. Okay, fine. I'm clearly still not over it. You know what? Let's watch one you were involved in.
Of Friends?
Oh, no. Think again.
Spin City?
No.
Oh, I got it, anger management.
Shut up, you're fucking with me.
I gotta have fun somehow.
What is it?
2.5 Men.
Oh, what's that?
Well, it's about time I actually review an episode of 2.5 Men. And what better than a Christmas episode? This being Season 3, Episode 11, Santa's Village of the Damned. Let's get right into it. Episode starts like this. Strange woman in kitchen. Charlie Harper walks into the kitchen, has no memory of this woman, assuming it's a girl he fucked and forgot about. Eventually finds out it was a girl Alan was seeing. Apparently the two met in cooking class, where Charlie even comments on how good her cooking is. Alan then stumbles into a conversation about their mom inviting him to spend Christmas together, something they would never ever go to. And she asks if she could spend Christmas with Alan. Charlie points out that she's a quote nester, someone who you have sex with, cooks you food, and next thing you know, she's living with you. And what do you know? That exact fucking thing happens. Who'd have thunk it? She moves into Alan's room. Charlie doesn't mind since her cooking is extremely good. He comes to this decision after basically being manipulated by her charm, to the point where Alan and Charlie eventually gain weight. But man, did they not see the psycho bitch incoming. Alan goes and picks up Jake and takes him back to Charlie's, where Charlie's waiting outside because there's a surprise that awaits inside.
Damn, Charles, you put on some serious weight.
It's a fucking TV show, you moron.
Cut it out, holy shit. Yeah, so Alan at this point is in way too deep. Charlie just likes the food, and so does Alan. But he also enjoys the sex, I bet. But a monkey could read that this bitch is Fruit Loops. But they push on until another weird thing happens that should be an indicator to torch the house on fire and move far the fuck away from California and change their names. Maybe instead of Charlie Harper, it's Charlie Smith.
That's dumb.
Well, yeah, no one asked you. We see everyone singing Jingle Bells when she stops and has this concerning look on her face. When she sees that the reindeer are out of order, which... how the fuck can you tell? They all look the fucking same. And she flips her shit. Charlie says he used one of them as a quote swizzle stick.
Donner Blitzen, Donner Blitzen, Donner Blitzen.
Got it.
Sing it!
Donner Blitzen.
Alan, scared shitless, is about to receive another sign this girl's fucking Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. She freaks out for forgetting to put out milk and cookies for Santa Claus. And guess what? She actually believes in Santa Claus. For fuck's sake, I don't even think Chris Chan believed in Santa by the time he was this woman's age. That should tell you this person's scary. And the next scene shows that. Sandy, which I haven't mentioned by name in this entire fucking script, then tells Alan to come back to bed to ruffle some feathers. To lure him, she switches into this quite lovely lingerie, and Alan is whipped beyond belief. You can guess what happens here.
Well, we had to get out of the house.
Yeah, the walls are thin and I'm impressionable.
I give this Christmas episode a 7.5 out of 10. Just a slight edge above the Frasier one, and way funnier than the Friends one. Kinda because it was a little sillier than the Frasier one, with the psycho bitch who wraps Charlie and Alan around her finger with food. Overall, pretty good. Well, I guess that's it. I sat through 3 sitcom Christmas specials with 2 hallucinations that seemed like 2 deadbeat Hollywood actors, one more blackballed than the other. What has my life come to? Why do I obsess?
Look here, kid. You're simply just growing up. You're an adult now. And guess what? There's gonna be people out there who you're not gonna agree with, and that's okay. Especially if it's something in regards to sitcoms.
But it's fucking Friends! Like, people constantly love that show.
Oh, who gives a flying fuck? All that matters is what you think. Don't try and take the opinions of others so seriously, unless it's something like constructive criticism. But taking what a bunch of young adults think about a stupid show from the 90s and obsessing over it isn't the way to live. It's called putting that shit aside and not giving a fuck.
No, you're right. I mean, why the hell should I care what a bunch of dipshits who are around my age think of a show like Friends? Because it's just their opinion. And my opinion reigns supreme because it's fucking me.
Well, you kinda had the spirit there for a second.
No. I get it. So I should continue spouting out my opinions on sitcoms no one cares about.
Sure, let's run with that, good for you there, kiddo.
Hell yeah. Alright, I'm back in the fucking spirit. Actually, I think I need to get a new jacket. I feel something, sticky inside. So, you mentioned earlier he did something with your guys' jackets?
Yeah, he violated your jacket.
Cool. Guess I'll go buy a new jacket and bleach my skin of this substance. Should probably dump my car too. Andy, did you do any weird shit in my fucking car?
Define weird shit.
For Christ's sakes. Alright. Just gotta find a new jacket. So what if Andy destroyed a jacket you've had for like 4 years? violated its private holes. Ugh. God, I don't even want to know. Vests. Oh, gee. Oh. Ooh. How much is it? $60. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Alright, if I just keep this away from Andy Dick, everything will be okay. Yeah. I'm having a joyous Christmas. Alrighty. Man, I forgot how crowded and hellish a Macy's is close to Christmas.
Oh my God.
What? What is it?
Chuck Lorre just texted me. He wants me to star in his new series for Max.
What? No fucking way. What?
Oh, I'm back, baby. I'm no longer blackballed. I've served my sentence. Hey, what the hell is happening?
What the fuck? You're fading.
I guess since I'm back, I'm no longer needed as a ghost of Christmas past. I suppose this is goodbye.
It's till we meet again. Fly high, my good man. Wow, he's really gone.
So, what do we have planned in store?
We? Ooh, no more ghosts! Yeah!